All right, well, joining me now at the desk is the Treasurer, Jim Chalmers, after those growth figures today, 0.2% for the quarter. Thanks so much, Treasurer, for your time. Paul Keating called it a recession we had to have. Is this the slowdown that we had to have?
Oh, it's certainly the slowdown that we expected. Our economy is slowing in expected ways, and that's really the inevitable consequence of these rate rises which are in the system, combined with this global economic uncertainty. So we're not surprised by the figures that we got today. I think they reflect the reality of people under considerable pressure and an economy which is slowing because of that combination of pressures.
Are you sort of trying to land this plane? I call it a soft landing. You need to get between that 2 quarters of negative growth, which impacts on confidence, and an economy that keeps going like that, so inflation does.
Well, the Treasury expects our economy to keep growing, but it expects it to grow quite slowly. We've thought that for some time, and the numbers that we got today are consistent with that expectation. We need some perspective here, though, as well. Consumption is very flat. Growth is not especially strong, but those are the things that we expected after these rate rises and what we're seeing in China and with conflicts around the world. But we need to remember that we've got inflation moderating, we've got wages growing, 2 consecutive quarters of real wages growth, we've got unemployment with a 3 in front of it, record participation, we've got a surplus, we've got much smaller deficits saving tens of billions of dollars in interest. And so this is why our economic plan has been broadly endorsed by the IMF, the OECD, Fitch Ratings, the RBA Governor and others. We're making welcome and important progress, particularly in the fight against inflation, but the numbers today do remind us that our economy is slowing and people are under pressure.
Do you hope the Reserve Bank sees this and says, OK, enough rate rises now?
Well, we've known each other a while now, Andrew, and you know that it's hard to get me to preempt or second guess or predict decisions taken by the independent Reserve Bank. This period that we're talking about was the September quarter. We've had another rate hike since then, and consumption was already flat in that quarter and growth was already relatively soft in that quarter. They will weigh all of those things up as they contemplate the future trajectory of interest rates. My job is to keep rolling out this cost of living help, keep getting the budget in better nick, keep investing in the supply side of the economy, keep chipping away at competition reform. These are the things that I take responsibility for in this fight against inflation, taking into account all of these economic conditions that we learned more about today.
All right, one figure that's up a decent amount's productivity. Mind you, it's been down so badly, that's, I don't know how much to read into that. What should I read into that?
Oh, there were some rays of light in today's figures. I think the welcome uptick in productivity was one of them, but we don't get carried away by that. It's one quarter where we've seen some growth. As you rightly identify in your question, productivity growth's been really flat for a really long time now. The 10 years to 2020 were the weakest for productivity growth in 60 years. It'll take us a while to turn this around. We give ourselves the best chance of doing that with our energy policy, our technology, our human approach to human capital and the employment white paper. Today's productivity growth number is welcome, but it doesn't mean that the effort isn't still required to turn this ship around.
When it comes to the productivity challenges, has the work from home phenomenon played into any of that?
Look, I take a lot of advice about this. This is a contested idea, and really, I think in aggregate, people are worried about the impact on productivity of more people working from home, but it depends on the industry. Not everybody has the choice, not everybody has the bargaining power in their workplace to determine how frequently they work from home. Some people are more productive from home, others less so. In aggregate, it is a bit concerning, but we've seen this work from home phenomenon for a while now. We're getting lots of analysis, lots of advice on it. We just need to strike the best balance here. We want particularly families to have the right kind of flexibility when it comes to their work, and we want to make the economy more productive, and we've set out how we intend to do that.